Welcome back to Longbox Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the Longbox. It is time for new comic book day reviews. So we're going to review the comic books that we picked up this week, let you know what we thought about it, and kind of rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. See if it's a recommend or not. So first one we're going to review is King of Spies #1. King of Spies #1 by Mark Millar and Matteo Scalera. Now, this is it's a #1, so it's from Image Comics. And it's the cover is kind of cool. All right, so we got cobs, cigarettes, we got bullet casings, we've got the British flag kind of running down there. You got some a sniffer of scotch there, and we got the King of Spies with that little crosshairs above the K. So the cover is really kind of cool. I would rate this. I mean, I know it's not a lot of stuff going on, but there's a lot of symbolism here. So I would rate this close to a 4. Probably a 4. This is really good. And then we get into the book. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the cityscape in that. That is fantastic. So we start out like this huge action sequence. I mean, he is falling from the sky. I mean, look at the beauty of that. He's falling from the sky. He's shooting the guys from the building. He's shooting the guys going down the building. They're out of the windows. And he lands in an ambulance there. It is just fantastic. It kind of reminds me a little of what James Bond used to be. And it's far better than the James Bond series, by the way. And so we have him, and he's like here. He lands in an ambulance. He's like, "Hey, cover the baby's ears," because like the woman is giving birth in the ambulance as he falls through. He covers the baby's ears, and he throws like an oxygen bottle, shoots it, and it blows up out the back of the ambulance. And he looks at the lady and goes, "Roland's a good name for a boy." You know, it is just very cool. And he goes into another fight scene, and he's fighting these siblings. A lot of knife play, and I mean, it is some cool stuff going on here. I mean, look at that. And the explosion there. Just fantastic stuff. Then he ends up, and the bad guy's getting away on an airplane, but he takes another drug dealer's airplane, and he jumps out, and he lands on their plane. Crazy stuff going in here. And then they let us know, now, granted, if you've not read this, you might want to cancel right now, read the book, come back to this. It's not really spoilers, but there's a little spoiler here. I can't say so. Basically, that was all in the past. And Roland is now this 65-year-old man. He is old. He is divorced. He is got medals from the Queen. And this was interesting. He goes, she said, "Do you think you're going to miss your very exciting life, Roland?" And he goes, "Well, certainly won't miss being shot at, Your Majesty." He goes, "Then again, if I hadn't taken a few bullets over the years, I wouldn't be standing here." And she said, "Oh, the medals aren't for bravery. The medals are for sacrifice." And that's when he kind of starts thinking, his whole life. His father fought in World War II and helped found the SAS. His grandfather was First World War and commanded the Mesopotamian front. Over the years, he's fought the Irish Rebellion, and he fought the trade unions, and he was all over the world doing, just illegal stuff for the British government. And cheating on his wife, of course, every chance he got. He was not a great guy. He was not a good guy at all in any way, shape, or form. And he knows that, and he realizes that. And he's, he's even missing his son. I mean, he doesn't have a relationship with his kid because of all the stuff that he had been doing. Now, he's in an old British club, right? And they're sitting there drinking, and these guys are very rude to one of the waitresses. And he goes in to break it up. I mean, dude, he's a super secret spy guy, right? So he's gonna break, but he falls over, grabbing his head, and apparently he has a glioblastoma. So basically, he's got cancer, a tumor in his brain, and he's about 6 months to live, right? And the only thing he can think about is how much he has given up in his life. He doesn't have anything, really. He has no family. He has no wife. He has no kid. All he has is medals, and they don't mean anything. And so he's kind of fed up with this, right? He's just, what is life about if you don't have anything to show for it at the end of it, right? You don't have family. You don't have nothing, And again, we're back into this club, and these guys are there again, and they mess with the girl again, and they all go into the restroom, and he goes in there and he just beats the tar out of them. Look at that. He's like, grabbing guns, shooting. He ends up killing, like this. Look at that. He ends up killing all 4 or 5 of these dudes. And that's when he finally comes to a conclusion. He's like this. So listen up. Or he goes, 6 months to live, 3 in good health. Just enough time for a final mission. I'm going to rid the world of all the old monsters and try to make up for the people I let down. So basically, he's like, I'm going to hell because of all the stuff I've done, and I'm taking you guys with me. So he is out to take out all the different leaderships, different people in Britain, all the stuff he does. It's going to be crazy. So the story in here is set up really pretty well. I like it. It's an interesting twist on the whole James Bond type deal. So James Bond, the great spy doing great stuff, but now what if he decides, it was all for nothing, and I'm going to take you all down with me? Crazy. That's going to be very, very cool. So I'm going to give the story about a 3.5. It's just an opening, so it hasn't had a lot of time to build up. The art, on the other hand, is a 4. Very, very strong 4. It was really good. I really enjoyed this. I have not heard of this guy, Matteo Scalera. He or she is really good. Fantastic art. So with a cover at a 4, the art at a 4, and the story at a 3.5, a strong 3.7 or so, 3.8. Really good. Definite recommend right now. Again, it's only number 1, so I don't know exactly how it's all going to go. But as of right now, this story is very strong, and it is very exciting to see something fresh, a little bit fresh. Kind of a twist on an old genre, but a little bit fresh in the idea. And so that's nice. Instead of getting Gwenpool Avengers out of Marvel, whatever. So this is great stuff, and a definite recommend. And we'll see you next time here in the Long Box.